For as long as I can remember, I wanted to be a parent. Some people dream of careers or adventures. I dreamed of bedtime stories, tiny shoes by the door, and a little hand reaching for mine. But life had other plans, month after month. Year after year, I faced disappointment after disappointment. My partner, David, tried to be strong for both of us, but I could see the weight pulling at him too. When our doctor suggested IVF, hope flickered again. We immersed ourselves in the process. Injections, appointments, and endless research. Choosing a sperm donor became a meticulous mission, hours comparing profiles, medical histories, and personal notes. Eventually, we settled on someone who seemed ideal, healthy, educated, thoughtful. The clinic reassured us repeatedly, mistakes are impossible. I clung to that promise like a lifeline. The pregnancy test came back positive. Tears streamed down my face. I had waited so long for this affirmation. Carrying Lily was both exhausting and exhilarating. David spoke to her nightly, promising love and protection, while I painted her nursery, choosing every detail with care. When she arrived, I thought my heart would burst. Dark hair, deep brown eyes, she was perfect. She didn't resemble either of us exactly, but we dismissed it as quirks of genetics. Little did I know, the real heartbreak had yet to arrive. The first years with Lily were a blur of sleepless nights and tender joy. Every 3 a.m. feeding reminded me that my dream was real. David's presence was unwavering. He would hum silly songs, pace the floor, and soothe her with a calm I envied. Our families embraced her, friends doted, and our home overflowed with love. Her personality bloomed, curious, bold, and sometimes stubborn. She painted messily, pieced together puzzles for hours, and laughed without restraint. Occasionally, I noticed subtle differences, hair texture, eye color, but they felt like quirks, not warnings. Then came a Christmas present that would append our lives. DNA kits. A harmless idea, tracing heritage, learning family history. We mailed them off with little thought, expecting amusement and fun. I could never have imagined the storm they would unleash. The first years with Lily were a blur of sleepless nights and tender joy. Every 3 a.m. feeding reminded me that my dream was real. David's presence was unwavering. He would hum silly songs, pace the floor, and soothe her with a calm I envied. Our families embraced her, friends doted, and our home overflowed with love. Her personality bloomed, curious, bold, and sometimes stubborn. She painted messily, pieced together puzzles for hours, and laughed without restraint. Occasionally, I noticed subtle differences, hair texture, eye color, but they felt like quirks, not warnings. Then came a Christmas present that would append our lives. DNA kits. A harmless idea, tracing heritage, learning family history. We mailed them off with little thought, expecting amusement and fun. I could never have imagined the storm they would unleash. Weeks later, an email arrived. Your DNA results are ready. I clicked through, expecting percentages of ancestry. The first charts were routine. My heritage, David's heritage. Then Lily's. The numbers didn't match. Not a fraction. My chest tightened. I reread the results, convinced it was an error. The DNA company confirmed their accuracy. My mind spiraled. If the lab wasn't wrong, then someone else had been. When David came home, I handed him the printout. He read it twice, pale and silent. They used the wrong donor, I whispered. The silence that followed was deafening. David's first words were comforting, but my heart burned with betrayal. The clinic, the place we had trusted, had rewritten our lives without our knowledge. Calls to the clinic offered explanations in cold, clinical terms. Mistakes happen, they said, as if they could measure the weight of our lives with indifference. The legal process began. Papers piled on our table. Attorneys spoke in rehearsed calm while our world fell apart. Nights were the hardest, lying awake, wondering if Lily's real father was out there somewhere. Yet David remained my anchor. His presence reminded me that love, not genetics, defined us. The media caught wind of our story. Headlines screamed betrayal, while strangers offered opinions and judgment. Some whispered cruelly about Lily, questioning her place in our family. I grew hyper-aware of her innocence, striving to shield her from the storm. Through it all, small moments grounded me. Lily's messy paintings, her laughter, her embrace. David and I leaned on each other, protecting our family and each other, reminding ourselves daily that our bond was unbreakable. The legal battles tested our patience and strength, but we focused on what mattered. Lily. Eventually, the legal battle ended. The clinic offered apologies and settlements, but the healing was in our choices, not their words. We embraced what could not be undone and focused on our family. We spoke gently with Lily about the donor mistake, framing it in a way she could understand. She accepted it without hesitation. Life regained its rhythm. School pickups, bedtime stories, laughter echoing through our home. I realized love had carried us through every obstacle. DNA did not make us parents, our unwavering love did. The man who should have been Lily's biological father remained unknown, but that fact no longer haunted me. Life's unpredictability had brought the most extraordinary gift, a family forged by choice, devotion and resilience. Love had survived the mistake. Love, and only love, defined us.